Hey everyone, welcome to Greenlight. So today we got a lot of things to cover when it comes to Blu-ray news and stuff like that today. So we got a lot to cover with a lot of behind the scenes and stuff like that, and the behind of and all these Blu-rays and stuff. I'm getting a little excited here, and we also have some breaking news too, of some Justice League breaking news at the end of this video, right before we cover the giveaway. So I am doing a giveaway as well for the Alien Covenant movie code. So at the end of this live stream, you'll find out who wins the movie code. But stay tuned right before this giveaway. We have a Justice League breaking news. So let's get started right away because we got a lot to go through. All right, very cool. So today we have Chaos Walking, and we have a bunch of big Blu-rays that are out today on 4K, as well as some re-releases, some exciting re-releases that I need to talk about with you guys about filmmaking and everything that would be very, very helpful. So let's get started right now. All right, so the first one I see today, obviously it's just a green light here, but if you haven't been here before, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button because it really helps us out here on this channel. And we do a lot of videos like this. We cover Blu-ray releases, and we do unboxings as well, and a bunch of home theater stuff too, and filmmaking videos, and even 3D animation type videos as well, using a free program called Blender. So let's get started right now with our first Blu-ray, and our first Blu-ray today is Chaos Walking. Chaos Walking is basically about a world where there is no women, and the last woman is Daisy Ridley. No offense to Daisy Ridley, but that kind of sucks. Like, not on the woman sense, but on the man sense, that kind of sucks. Just a bunch of men in this world. Yeah, that's boring. Very, very boring, and very ugly looking in the world, I guess you could say. Well, there's a Blu-ray slipcover, and then there's a 4K. Let me put the 4K slipcover as well. And we do not have the back end on this one. I did try to get it. I looked everywhere for it, and I couldn't get the back end for this movie, but I'm expecting some special features. But since it was released during the pandemic, towards a little bit towards the end, I wouldn't say the end, but like a couple months before the vaccines got released, this movie was released on demand and everything like that. So it's out now on Blu-ray and 4K, and then we also have a Steelbook 4K as well, which is really cool. It has this like little essence or energy or something like that, like personal energy that is around Tom Holland in this film, it seems like, and it looks like it's on Daisy Ridley as well in this film. So very, very cool. I'm excited to check this movie out myself. I'm not trying to say too much about it. I've already seen the trailer, and it's on my list, me and my wife's list of movies to see, and this is definitely one of the movies to check out. Let me know if you have seen this movie. I'd love to know what your opinion is on the live chat or in the playback, and I'm going to try my best. I've been kind of screwing up here and there with the live chat and giving people more shout outs, but I'm really going to try this time as well to give a shout out at the end of this video, at the end of this live stream, and for the playback, for everybody out there in playback, yeah, at the end of this video as well. So this is definitely the Steelbook case, and we're going to move on to our next film, and every film that we talk about here today has IMDb links in the description below, so you can go ahead and find out more about the film and the filmmakers, check out the trailers, check out the locations and all that. I usually talk about here anyway, so go ahead and check that out, and we're going to move on to our next film. Our next film is Benny Loves You, and Benny Loves You is it's like a horror film, kind of like a Chucky type film with a toy coming coming to life and trying to slaughter you. You know, these are one of those type of slaughter type films and stuff like that, where the little Benny. The stuffed animal goes on a killing rampage. But it's produced by Epic Pictures. If you ever heard of the Turbo Kid movie, this is along those lines. But this is kind of like those ultra low budget type films. I wouldn't say ultra low budget. I guess more of like under the thousands of dollars is the ultra low budget. But when you're in the tens of thousands or even the hundreds of thousands, you're just a low budget film. And this is an indie low budget film, horror film, and it looks really good. Like, I'm not trying to knock the film here. The trailer looked really good, and the effects with everything with Benny the stuffed animal just really came out pretty good, and I was very shocked and surprised. So if you're interested in these types of films and you like checking them out, I would recommend checking this one out. Definitely on the fact of if you could read between the lines and see stuff that you can learn from this film, I highly recommend it. If not, maybe you're just into horror films, I definitely recommend it as well. Again, like I say about all these films, there's a trailer and just all the links for the directors, cast and crew, and all their information for them in the description below. There's IMDb links for this film and all the films that we're talking about here today. So we're going to move on to our next one. And our next movie today is a little bit more in my wheelhouse. Big 90s action film fan, and I haven't really expressed that much here on this channel as I would like. I mean, I've said it a couple times here, maybe last week with Last Action Hero. But this one looks along the lines of those type of movies with retribution and revenge and vengeance and stuff like that. This is called Deliver Us from Evil. And in the description below, I do have IMDb links for this film and for all the films we talk about here today. And I do have the back end for this movie. And this is an over-the-seas film. And it does have the back end here, as you can see, with bonus features. We have making of, filming location, and trailers. So I'm not going to break them down too much, but it pretty much says with making of is usually a much shorter little documentary of how they made the film, a much shorter version than the behind the scenes. Usually if the behind the scenes 30 minutes, this would be half of that, which is 15 to 20 minutes long of a making of. And even with that being said, if it's a lot shorter than that, maybe even 10 minutes, just try to read between the lines. Even if you watch it multiple times, you probably see where they set up all the lights and everything and they do their stunts. They could even give away a lot of things here that they do. And another cool thing here that they added was filming locations, which I'm hoping this is with including their location scout, which is something that you're supposed to do in pre-production and of any film. And location scout, make sure you have all your locations before you just show up on the day, and then you don't have a location to show up to. I recommend, even if it's even if there's location that is an abandoned location, make sure it didn't get demolished the day before you go up and shoot there and stuff like that. So I highly recommend doing that kind of stuff. In this filming location, they could be talking a little bit more about the locations and how the locations needed to retrofit their action scenes or whatever have you. So a lot of information here and a lot of great just knowledge bombs for all of you indie filmmakers out there, especially ones into horror or into action movies as well. You got to really know your locations before you just start filming anything with action or violence or anything like that. So with all that being said, we're going to move on to our next film. And our next film does not have a back end today, but quite interesting film. It's called Happily. It's about a couple who is literally happily married. And me and my wife were laughing about this because it seems that way with other couples and stuff like that too. It seems like having just those fights or those disagreements and stuff like that. They figure that is normal, and it more or less, I guess it would be if you're coming to a conclusion of meeting in the middle in some way as a couple. So I think this is a brilliant movie. I think it's really interesting. It's got this like quirky comedy type thing going on in it, and it's got this like weird world where they fall into, and they have to pretend that they don't that they're like other couples, that they fight and all this stuff. So it's really, really interesting, but they don't. They really love each other, and they're like best friends and stuff, which is I guess that's rare, but I wouldn't say that isn't that rare. At least in my point of view. So moving on to our next film. Again, all these films we talk about today has IMDb links in the description below, so you can check out the filmmakers, check out the cast and crew and everything, and even trailers as well. So we're going to move on to our next film. And our next film today is called American Fighter. His battle never ends. I believe I did see this trailer, and it looked really good, and it was inspiring type film as far as a fighter, underground fighter, as that. So it's based on a true story. Definitely recommend checking this movie out. I have IMDb links in the description below. I do not have the back end for this film, but you can go ahead and check out the trailer and check out the filmmakers down in the description below with the IMDb links I left for you. Moving on to our next film, and our next film is called Deadly Force Mission Budapest. It has links in the description below, IMDb links. I do not have the back end here, but I do have some information that this movie is an overseas film, and it's called The Rookies, I believe, over there over the seas. So you can check out on IMDb. You can see it under Deadly Force Mission Budapest. It'll say The Rookie. The Rookies or The Rookie or something like that. But it's out now on Blu-ray, and it has Mila Jovovich. So that's telling me that overseas, she's really famous, probably with the Resident Evil movies. So moving on to our next film. Our next film is more or less, I would believe, a raunchy type of comedy, and stuff that you wouldn't really want to happen on your bar mitzvah, but all the mismanaged party antics and stuff that you could find will be in this film. If you haven't seen it with a bar mitzvah twist, I guess this is definitely something to check out, and I have in the description below IMDb links for you, so you could check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, and check out the cast and crew, and you could check out all the stuff that they've done even before this film. So check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat or in the playback, or in the comments of the playback. So we're going to move on to our next film that's out today, and it's going to be our last new release out today on Blu-ray, and it's a documentary. It's called Martha, A Picture Story. And it is documentary. And what I do have to say about this is very, very interesting, because if you're a filmmaker and if you're a run and gun filmmaker and you want to learn how it is to go out in the field and really capture raw things that are happening on the day, and I work in the news environment, so I see it happen a lot of the times, especially when a lot of the protests was going on recently. You would see a lot of raw footage out in the city, in our city here in Miami and stuff like that. And even when they stormed the Capitol was being stormed and stuff like that, that was quite shocking. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. But if you want to see stuff where a photographer, this woman photographer, which is I believe in the late 60s, early 70s or something like that, where it takes place, and it talks about her experiences in those times in New York, taking pictures in the Bronx and the ghettos and stuff like that, and it's amazing. She was taking pictures of graffiti art, and she was getting popular with that in a sense, but she was still it was still hard for her to make rent and constantly, just because she's a female photographer. And if you're looking for something ultra inspirational, I mean, I couldn't recommend any other film here today. Sorry about the American Fighter and all these other movies, but just on that whole fact that, you know, they're fictional films, and even American Fighter was based on a true story. There's always a twist of some fictionality into it. These documentaries, they aren't. They are raw. They interview Martha, and when I saw the trailer, it got me excited enough to watch it myself. Definitely going to see this film, so I would definitely recommend you checking this out. This is highly educational for any filmmaker out there, anybody that is a videographer or anything like that too. Just getting out there and just opening your camera aperture and just taking pictures and just getting the images right as they happen. So you see that I'm really passionate about this type of subject. So I really recommend this. I do have IMDb links for this film in the description below. So go ahead and check it out. It's Martha, A Picture Story, a documentary by Selena Miles. So another female filmmaker involved in this. So very exciting. So go ahead and check that out. Zion's over here giving his 2 cents. With all that being said, we're going to move on to our re-releases. First re-release, and the reason why I'm not saying 4K, is a Blu-ray, but it's one of my favorite films, and it's going out on Steelbook, so I'm going to show it here. And I do have IMDb links for this film too, and it's 12 Monkeys, and this is with Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt, and it's one of my favorite films. It's one of my favorite Terry Gilliam movies. I showed it to my wife a long time ago when we met, and she loved it. She thought it was a phenomenal film, very weird, but it had a lot of heart to it, and it was well done, and it just... man, I can't recommend this enough, and definitely looking to add this into my collection. So the Steelbook case is very, very nice. I mean, it looks like it's holographic, where it's got this shine to it. So it's not like the regular Steelbook cover to it. My son's having fun back there. Excuse me, just taking some water myself. So what I'm trying to say is it has a holographic, excuse me, again, it has a holographic thing over it, over the Steelbook case. And then inside you see here, this is really cool too. And this is of the city of New York, I believe. And city of New York all covered in snow and everything. And this is when he walks around on planet Earth and stuff like that. Basically, they go all humans go underground in this film and stuff. It's really, really cool. And in the back here, they have a big ball with a bunch of screens on it. Very, very cool. I love the Steelbook case. For any collector out there, this is definitely worth checking out. So I'm going to move on to our next thing. I'm wondering if this all the way here on the right is like a slip cover that goes over the Steelbook. That would be very, very cool too. Definitely worth checking out. Let me know what you guys think. I have IMDb links for 12 Monkeys as well down in the description below if you want to check that out. I'm going to move on to our next re-release, and it's our first of the 4K, and it's Prospect. I usually don't do re-release 4Ks unless I've seen the movie before, or I really want to get them myself. A lot of the 4Ks out today I would love to have in my collection, but I may be able to only pick one or so, or one or two. I do want Prospect. I really want this like so bad, because I definitely need it now. For my collection, just on the fact of learning some things. I do have a back end here for this 4K that I do want to talk about. If you haven't seen Prospect before and you've seen The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, this is kind of how he got that show, was off of this movie alone. And it's such a gritty sci-fi a thriller. I was gonna say drama or something. This is a thriller in space, and this is amazing. And they're off our planet, and they're trying to survive. And Prospect, it's it's kind of a play on words with prospecting back in the days of a Western movie where they prospect for gold and stuff like that. So they're prospecting for things here too. So I don't want to give away too much. So I would love for you to check it out. But we do have to talk about these special features though. I'm going to zoom in here. As you can see, this is courtesy of Bluray.com. And as I zoom in here, wow, it looks really good. All right, good. Okay, so fade in this, zoomed in. All right, brand new 2021 filmmaker introduction. Very cool, because this movie came out, I believe, in like 2018 or something like that, 2019. I think it was 2018 or something. With all that being said, it doesn't matter. Commentary track with the filmmakers, and then Prospect, a short film version of the movie, which was a 14-minute. It came out in 2014. Very cool to check that out and see how they were able to translate the short film into a feature film. And then we have behind the scenes featurette, 5 minutes. I love how they tell you how long they are, which is something that I'm always trying to guess here and give you more along the lines of a guesstimation for everybody here, so they know what they're getting when they purchase these Blu-rays and stuff, because they usually try to be very wordy with what they're saying, what the special features are and stuff, just so they can hide the fact of how short they may be or not. So I try to like cut through the noise with that for everybody. But this is amazing. 5 minutes behind the scenes featurette. Very cool. So they're automatically telling you how long it is, so you're knowing what you're gonna get from this. So they're not really gonna dive in too deep. But they're probably going to dive in deep on the production side of things, definitely on this. So that's definitely worth checking out. And then deleted scenes, and I always talk about this, it says with Channel Rat, deleted scenes are always scenes that are cut out of the film, and it seems like they have multiple deleted scenes. They have two, just 1 and 2, Channel Rat and Leroy. So there's definitely scenes that are taken out of the movies because it doesn't propel the film forward. The story just kind of halts right at these scenes and stuff like that. So not that they just bore you, but it just kind of doesn't give you any new information or anything like that. It just kind of tells you probably the same thing, and it doesn't move on to the next story point in your film. So those things are very important. So moving on to the next thing I see here is Inside Prospect, helmets of Prospect. So they're going to talk about the helmets and how they're so different from each other and stuff like that. And this is probably a good thing for like low budget filmmakers. Definitely check out this film and see how they were able to accomplish what they were able to accomplish. And this Prospect, okay, so, and it's 1 minute, so they're not going to cover too deep into it, but there's definitely going to be a lot of information if they're splitting everything up here. And then another Inside Prospect, the drop pod. So the drop pod and how they made that a practical set, either on location or on an actual set, on stage, on a sound stage. So the next thing I see here is scene analysis with supervisor. Scene analysis with a costume designer, Aiden Vitti. Very cool. So you can check all the costumes for what they did with the suits and all that, and how they were able to make them all futuristic and stuff like that. Because I'm sure they had to get older type of suits and stuff like that and retrofit them to make them a little modern in a sense, and try to make them fit for the world that they're trying to create here. And this is all it says Merc Camp. I think that's the company that did it too, with Aiden Vitti, and it's all 7 minutes. So 7 minutes they have to really give you a bunch of information here on what they did with the costume design. Very, very cool. I love how they're splitting all this up. Again, this is all things that you got to do on your own as a filmmaker anyways. So moving on to the next thing I see here is scene analysis with visual effects supervisor Ian Hubert. Hubert, Dust VFX. Dust is VFX is a company owned by Ian Hubert. Highly recommend him. I couldn't say it enough, and I probably will have it under my information of the breaking news in the description below. I will put Ian Hubert's YouTube channel on there, but I couldn't recommend him any more enough than saying that he has his own YouTube channel, and he creates a lot of stuff on Blender VFX for movies, and for his own show called Dynamo, which is on a separate YouTube channel, which I highly recommend trying to find out where that is if you're really interested in that, in his VFX and all that. I highly recommend checking out his channel real quick, and hopefully if you're into his VFX and stuff like that, he's basically showing you everything he's done on the show Dynamo. And the Dynamo show is very interesting. It reminiscent in this type of universe where it's like realism and sci-fi at the same time. So I highly recommend checking out this Blu-ray and checking out his channel. And he's somebody that's a huge influence on my work, especially on Blender right now, and using 2D images in VFX worlds, so you don't have constant 3D models in your VFX shot, because it takes a longer time to render, and there's just ways of doing it that are more efficient that VFX artists do all the time. And this is somebody that really shows you all the tips and tricks and stuff that he uses and that he's learned over time. And I don't believe he's gone to school for this or anything like that, but it's very cool, the type of stuff that he's doing and stuff that he's able to get away with Blender and open source free software. And I always have a link of that in all of my channel videos. In this channel's videos, all the videos that are in this channel have links for Blender, so you can go ahead and check that out down in the description below in the free download section. So go ahead and scroll and you'll see that. So the next thing I see here is after the Ian Hubert is another Ian Hubert. That first one, Dust VFX, it was 3 minutes, and then they have another one for the spaceship. Oh, very cool, and it's 5 minutes. He does these short VFX heavy tutorials. They're called lazy tutorials, and it's really fast and really quick, and you can like skim through them, scroll through them as a VFX person, or watch them a bunch of times to learn from it, because he really gives you every step by step everything that you're supposed to do for each VFX shot. Just to get him very close to what he does. And I highly recommend checking out other VFX heavy Blender tutorials and anything within Blender, even with particles and all that stuff, because there's things that he may not go through here on his channel, but then he does other people kind of go through them and stuff like that. There could be like add-ons and stuff that are really quick. I could go on and about this, and I maybe should do a video about him. But let me know in the comments down below of the playback or in the live chat if you're interested in Ian Hubert's stuff and his work, and that I should do a video here on this channel about him and kind of introduce him. Maybe I do an interview with him. I've thought about hitting him up and trying to get him on this channel. So there's a bunch of people I'm trying to do for that too. So if you like that idea, go ahead and comment down below, and let me know if you're interested in this movie now, Prospect. I love this film. I saw it on Hulu. It's now on Netflix, so you can go ahead and check it out on Netflix and check the movie out. But I highly recommend getting this 4K. I do want to check this movie out. I believe it was shot on film, so it should have a good 4K render. With all that being said, let's move on to our next re-releases, because we got a lot to go through here today. So our next re-release today is The Birds. Again, everything I talk about here today has IMDb links in the description below, so you can check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, and check out everything down in the description below on the IMDb links for prospects and all the films we talk about here today. And this one is Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. This is a classic Universal film, and it's a classic film of a post-apocalyptic type stuff or anything like that. If you like zombie movies and stuff like that, this is kind of like that in the sense that it's with birds. The birds are going crazy. But I highly recommend this. This is one of the Steelbook cases I want to get, and I just kind of going Google Gaga over this. I do not have the back end for this, so I'm just going to be going off of the stuff I know about the DVD special features that I've seen and things like that. But it's very, very cool when they do rear projection on this movie, and they do a bunch of stuff with the birds and everything like that, and just wrangling birds, in your shot is insane alone, and it's just an insane task for any filmmaker and any production team to have that be a challenge, especially to have to do this for Alfred Hitchcock of all people. Gotta be nerve-wracking. Highly recommend this movie, and they do have a slipcover version of the 4Ks, this one, and then we're going to get into Psycho in a second as well. And but these are the Steelbook covers, and we're going to look inside this one. This is the one I want this one so much. But we don't, and I think we have inside for the Psycho one. But the birds, it's all split up like this in different images and stuff. So this is the inside. And then we have the back end here, the back of it, of the Steelbook. And I love the back of the Steelbook. It's kind of, if I were to get this as just as a photo with Alfred Hitchcock's signature right here, as you can see, without the Universal thing on the bottom left, I would put this in a picture frame, and this would be like, oh, but only obviously if Alfred Hitchcock really signed that for real. I'd love to have it in the back of my head for our channel here anyways. When I'm going to be doing an announcement this Friday too. I'll let you know at the end of this video about that. So this is really cool. Let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat or in the playback. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, let me move on here, is Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. So all of Alfred Hitchcock's 4K releases have IMDb links in the description below, so you can check out the filmmaker, and you can check out his work and the trailers for these films, and you can check out all the cast and crew and all that too. There's even technical specs where you can find out about things like what cameras they used and the film stock, and especially back then you could find out about all the film stock that they used, because that was where the differences were. Nowadays it's all about the type of camera you have. Back then it was about the film stock and the film stock that you have for your film, and they all look different. So really, really, really awesome. Definitely worth checking out. Love the black and white inside the Steelbook case. And again, the back end here, the back of this Steelbook case has another beautiful photo of Alfred Hitchcock with his signature on it. Another one that could be a picture framed photo. That would be awesome for any collector out there. So definitely worth checking out. Let me know if you like this and you're looking to purchase this film on the Steelbook case or the slipcover. Let me know on the live chat or in the playback. We're going to move on to our next re-release. And our next re-release is another one that I hold dear myself, and it's on their 10th anniversary. A lot of people aren't big fans of this film, but I'm a fan of J.J. Abrams, and I'm a huge fan of Steven Spielberg, and I'm a fan of Super 8, especially with their campaign online. I was part of the Cloverfield campaign, and I was just following that, when Cloverfield came out, and they were doing MySpace, if you remember that, and they did all their websites of Tagarado and all that stuff. Well, they did similar things like that here for the Super 8, and they did that here and there, I believe, with some websites and things like that. I think they did that, and but I know he did have like secret trailers. He had a secret teaser that showed up on Super Bowl and stuff for this film, and I got excited. The film to me is very after seeing it a couple times over time, I feel like people came around to it a little bit more. But I love Super 8. It's a heart-filled film for me, sci-fi, and it's about kids making a movie, and then a train gets just destroyed and all this stuff, and then a monster just gets loose out in the town and stuff like that. But it's got a sci-fi element to it, so it's an alien and all that. But with Steven Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, I couldn't say that anymore than what I have to say here. This is definitely worth checking out. The Steelbook cover is very beautiful too in the back as well. Kind of has this like E.T. thing going on a little bit in the back, but the film is nothing like that. Definitely worth checking out. Let me know in the live chat or in the playback, in the comments of the playback, if you're gonna check this movie out or purchase this yourself on the Steelbook or in the slipcover, 4K slipcover. I do have this on Blu-ray myself, and I think the special features are very, very good, and they do dive in pretty deep. So I'm hoping there's some more here with the 10th anniversary and all. And just the Steelbook case looks so sweet. And they do have a slipcover, 4K slipcover. It just looks exactly like the one I have, the Blu-ray one that I have already. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't get the slipcover, at least myself. If I were to purchase this movie, I'd only get definitely only get the Steelbook case. So I'm preparing the breaking here. So we have breaking news. Breaking news here. So I'm gonna fade this in here, and this is my breaking news of the Steelbook case for ZACK Snyder's Justice League. So this is breaking news for ZACK Snyder's Justice League and Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray. It's released right now overseas in Europe, and overseas in the UK. And this is the UK version, and this is a sweet cover of the Steelbook. I looked at the other ones here. This is from Steelbook Fever. Shout out to Steelbook Fever on Instagram. I did not ask him or her for permission for this. I just kind of put it up here. This is breaking news for me, and I love everybody's hands up and stuff like that. And you see the what was this? This is, I believe, this is Wonder Woman's sword here, and you got everybody. You got Superman's fist, and you got Aquaman's trident, Cyborg's arm, and you got everybody's arm. You got Batman all the way here on the right, and the opposite left is Flash and stuff. Very cool. I think it's just so sweet with the clouds and all that. It just looks really, 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 really sweet for a Steelbook case. So I'm hoping ours, the US version, is as sweet as this, and it doesn't look too lame with just them lined up in front. And it could happen because I saw some stuff on Bluray.com, and it was with them in the front. But I do want to get this for myself, and I'm expecting them to hopefully have the US copy maybe come out in June. If not, maybe they're going to try to push it to Christmas, but I think it just makes more sense to do it now in the summer while kids are out and they can go to the stores and buy this for themselves, maybe because they couldn't get the HBO Max or something like that. But I definitely have seen this movie and I love it, and I'm I just want this so much. I hope it comes out like this. Let me know in the live chat or in the comments of the playback what your opinions on of this Steelbook case for the Justice League Zack Snyder cut. Let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat or in the playback. And we're going to move on because that was the last thing we're going to be talking about today, because we're going to move on to our giveaway, because we have movie code giveaway to talk about today. So let me get this zoomed in here. All right, cool. So I'm going to fade this in here. And as you can see up on the top right here, I do have a premiere video coming out this Friday. And it does have a Steelbook unboxing, and I do a giveaway as well. And it's a Shrek 4K Steelbook. And so I'm unboxing two things. I'm unboxing a Samsung, a QLED Q60A. It's an overview, but basically of the television that me, my wife, and son bought at Best Buy, and we're taking it with us somewhere. So I announce it on this video, so you can go ahead and put this on your notification. So go ahead and click on that video and click on the notification on that video, because I'm going to be doing a big announcement about this channel on that video, and just the future of this channel, basically. So I'm going to move on to the giveaway and use basically this TubeBuddy, which is free. This is a free TubeBuddy app that is available for any Google Chrome. Anybody that's anybody that uses Google Chrome. So I'm going to pick a winner here, and I'm going to line it up here first. And it says pick a winner on there, and they give that type of tool. So it's very cool. So I can go through all the comments and be able to pick a winner, and it's fair for everybody. Sometimes it goes a little off and stuff like that, so I try to be as fair with everybody as possible. I'm looking on my phone real quick on my YouTube Studio app, and I'm going to make sure that all the comments are accounted for. Sorry about that. I have a gap tooth or something. So I don't know why it's like whistling. I'm really whistling. It wasn't my teeth. So so with that being said here, all right, I'm going to click on this. All right. So I did get a new person. Oh, wow. I did get a new person right away. Awesome. And this is something that I like to do. I try to make sure that the people winning this is not somebody winning this multiple times. And if you are, it's done purposely. So congratulations to Manoj Venk. I'm very excited. Thank you for showing up on this channel and showing up on this giveaway for Alien Covenant. Enter me in for this movie. Thanks for the chance, mate. Thank you. I've never been called mate. I really appreciate that, actually. And then you put your Instagram, so you're already following instructions. And you're already doing what you're supposed to do. So I really, really appreciate this, and I highly recommend this for everybody else to do the same. And make sure that you hit the subscribe button real quick, Manoj, and make sure that you find out more about the giveaways in the future as well. So I'm looking here on the live chat, and quickly, I always have somebody. I have this same friend here. I have Maddie on here. Usually he's always on here, and I'm trying to do more on the live chat and give shout outs on the chat, live chat. So shout outs to Maddie's Great Adventure. Actually, let me get myself up on here before I do that. So shout outs to Maddie's Great Adventure. He does a lot of like traveling videos around his town, and he does a lot of videos actually, and a lot of live videos as well. If you want to jump on there and talk stuff with him, I do it all the time. So I highly recommend going ahead and doing that and hanging out with him. He's a cool cat. And I really appreciate everybody joining me on this channel for the giveaway for Alien Covenant. This Friday, we have a Shrek 4K Steelbook giveaway this Friday. And on that video, we do an unboxing for the new Samsung 4K LED, which is huge for me on this channel, just doing that kind of content on this channel. And eventually, I will have a video where we set that TV up in our family room, and I put my surround sound system, my Yamaha surround sound system, hooked up to it, and then you can see that video coming up soon as well. So go ahead and hit the like button on this video. It really helps us out here. Hit the notification bell if you want to know more about these types of videos and giveaway videos as well, when we do giveaways for movie codes and filmmaking stuff. And I'll see you here next time. So later, I'll see you here Friday.